What does a personalized health ecosystem look like that not only helps you lose 10 pounds of fat, but it gets you out of the hole so that you can love life again? You can live life on your own terms, and you have a system so that you never fall off the wagon again. Or if you do fall off, and I do fall off, it's probably more accurate. We all do. Life happens, but you at least have a system to fall back on so that you know how to get back on as soon as possible. I just got off the phone with someone that told me he had a trainer that sent him a PDF that had 9 foods on it, and he could eat any one of those foods. That is not what we're here to build. We're here to build your home. A solid foundation. Now, in the past, when you were less busy, you didn't have a home that was very solid. With that restriction, it's not very sturdy. Would you live here? And because these walls are cracked, because there's no foundation to the house that you've had, when an earthquake comes, a busy week at work, travel, a guilty cheat meal, think about it in your life. What is that earthquake that comes? What happens? We lose the house. It doesn't just break. It completely disappears. We put our health to the back seat. Weeks go by, months go by, maybe years go by where we stop taking action, and it turns into a really negative cycle. And then we got to build it all the way back up by hand. And we don't just do it immediately. We do it when we have the time. We have the energy, and that's unpredictable because it's when the time shows up magically. But if we keep building the same house with the same materials and we build the same house, eventually what happens to these materials? They start to crumble. They get brittle. And eventually you tell yourself, this isn't sustainable. Would you build the same home again and again and again? No, you wouldn't. And ultimately, that's not a healthy mindset. And if we're talking about health, not only do you have to have a healthy body, you have to have a healthy mind. You have to feel confident about building this house. If we want to design a home that can withstand any earthquake, where do we build the house first? Do we start with the roof? Now, the piece you've always been missing that I want to bring into this conversation is your foundation. Because when you start with the foundation and you make sure it's rock solid first, you don't move on to the walls until the foundation is rock solid, just like you're building a home. Then when shit happens, and it always happens when you least expect it, generally at the worst times, you didn't lose the home. You just had a few scratches because you were prepared for it. It's not a matter of if an earthquake happens. We all got it, and it's coming for us. It's just a matter of when, but you were ready for it. So when the storm passes, and if you're watching this video and right now you're going through a tough time, whether it be in your health or your business or your career, reminder, it will pass. And when it passes, you either have to build up a house from scratch or you just patch up the old holes and you continue where you left off because you had a good foundation. So you can finally return to a home that you're comfortable to live in for the rest of your life. Because fitness and health is an infinite game. It will never end. But if you love your home, you'll be happy to spend time there. And you won't be a builder the rest of your life. You'll just build it and then you'll live in it majority of your life. And what does that step-by-step process look like? So specifically, what I want to break down for you is that phase 1, this foundation, this is where we build the plan around your life, not in spite of your life. This is where we bring data into the picture. When science and data meets lifestyle, we see how is your social habits? How do you eat? How do you travel? How do you work? What are your favorite foods? And when we can quantify all this, we start to notice patterns, just like when you're doing your profit and loss statement in your business, when you're doing your taxes, when you're doing your accounting, when you're running a business, when you're looking at your finances, when you want to hire someone. Before you make any of those massive decisions in your life, you got to identify the patterns before you fix a problem. You must understand the problem. And then when you understand the problem, you start to understand how the environment you're in is shaping the person you are today. We don't change things yet, but can you see how when we understand you, you'll realize the one thing that's holding you back? And the great news is every time I do this with my clients, every single one of my clients has an aha moment, a blind spot they didn't see. Can you imagine in your own life, if you finally understood with data how you're currently performing, instead of fixing yourself, how you'd be more inspired to take action? You'd actually know what's the one thing holding you back instead of 10 things. Now in phase 2, now that we understand your body, now you can start to see how to make those results visible, right? You're taking the theory and you're putting it into practice and you're starting to see, oh crap, because we all have different metabolisms. Each of us is at a different age, a different gender, different hormones, and there's a number to how all those things factor in to how much you burn every day. When we take your goal physique and we understand your metabolism, we know exactly what you need to eat to lose fat and not muscle. It's about the quality of the weight. And it's not black and white. It's not, I'm on the plan, I'm off the plan. You choose your pace. It's like a video game. Do you want to lose the fat fast, medium, or slow? So that you can stay in control. You know, in every day and week, every season of life, whether you need to crank that lever down or up. And from all the great work we did in phase 1, we actually understand what are your current eating habits? What are the things you love? We build the plan around the foods from phase 1. So you can stay social, you can eat what you love, and you can still drop fat. No more guessing. This is just about getting results. And this is the part where most people think you got to start, but it's really phase 3. Because now when you're losing fat on autopilot, now you can actually build muscle that you'll see. Because when the fat's out of the way that was blocking you, this is where you start to sculpt the body. Not like a bodybuilder, not like that trainer at your gym, but the way that you want to look. And when you can see how you're getting stronger every week, when you finally feel toned and powerful, you go to the gym not anxious. You're confident because it's the only next step you have to focus on. You already solved phase 2. You're already losing fat. It's solved forever. At this stage, this is when people around you go, what are you doing? You look different. And you understand why. When you understand how each lift, each rep of the plan that's designed to have you look the way you want, every rep counts. When you understand how it sculpts your physique, you will see progress like a game. Can you see how it's not a grind anymore? Because you're having fun with it. This is when your body finally catches up to the clarity. So this is your home. This is your ecosystem. The question for you is, when you look at your life, what are the earthquakes that have knocked you down in the past? What is the recurring pattern that's kept you stuck? Whether it is a lack of clarity, if I just had the data, if I just need a system, I need it for me, I need that personal data. If you told me that, I got this thing. Or is it, hey, I love food, I love bread or ice cream. There's some treat that I just can't go without. I can go out without it for a few weeks, but I just can't go without it permanently. Is it figuring out how to blend your love for food and your results? Think about it in your life. And it's not 10 things. It's one thing that generally is the biggest earthquake. So you can bring it on the call and we can start to actually nail down the pins in the ground that can keep this house stable. Something that goes even before phase 1. It's the challenge that we're designing the whole plan around. Looking forward to talking and building this plan with you. And I'll talk to you soon.